Hello, everybody. It's Hawk,
This is Lady Hawk.
and this is
Hok Talk.
Hok Talk.
Oh, God.
I purposely did it like that
Why?
because,
Why, bae?
and we are here playing a new game, and she's not enjoying it. We are playing Powerwash Simulator. Yes, we are power washing an old, what's that nursery rhyme?
It's a boot.
The old lady who lived in a shoe,
Yeah.
and she had so many kids, she had to like sell them to China.
No, she didn't know what to do.
She didn't know what to do.
So she sold him to
Is
China.
that what it was? I don't remember it.
I don't know.
So that is what we are playing today.
Because he has an issue with wanting to clean things, apparently. What do you do? Why are you spraying me?
I don't know.
Oh, bae.
But you want to get right into it here?
Yeah. Slub side eye.
Yep.
I have a total issue. Okay. So I'm not a fan of the Kardashian shows. I don't watch them, but I do occasionally see clips of their show from TikTok, like different, segments, things like that. And so let's just start with some backstory on Kris Jenner.
Who?
Well, she was formerly Kris Kardashian, and then they got divorced, and then she married Bruce Jenner, who is now Caitlyn
Oh, you're
Jenner.
talking about the older one?
Yep.
Like
This
the mom?
is Kris. Yep.
Okay.
So she's now Kris Jenner. And apparently it came out in an episode of I think it was Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Kourtney Kardashian, who's the oldest child of Kris Kardashian and Robert, went to a therapy session, and she was discussing how she would never cheat on her significant other because they had children. And she knew how badly it hurt her as a child of a mother who cheated on her father. So there's this history of Kris Kardashian kind of being a cheater. She also, there was rumored affairs when she was married to Bruce Jenner. And there was also a rumor that one of her children, Khloe Kardashian, was not the daughter of Robert Kardashian. She was actually a child of O.J. Simpson. Robert Kardashian and O.J. Simpson were very good friends. He helped to represent him in the infamous case of O.J. Simpson and the Nicole Brown murder. And apparently there was rumors that they had an affair as well. So for years and years and years, there's been rumors of affairs for Kris Kardashian / Jenner, just having this behavior and thinking that behavior is acceptable. So flash forward to having many beautiful daughters, and she has a daughter who I believe is the most reasonable of all the Kardashian girls, Khloe Kardashian. She's always been made fun of. She's always been rumored to be the biggest of the Kardashians. She was never considered to be Robert Kardashian's daughter. They always thought she was somebody else's because she was just different than her sisters. So she had a marriage with Lamar Odom. He infamously was found in a brothel during their marriage. He was cheating on her. He was on drugs, almost died, was in a coma.
He's a basketball player, wasn't he?
Basketball player for the LA Lakers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so even after all that, even after the cheating, everything, she got him into treatment. She got him in a good situation. She was there for him. She did what she needed to do, and then she divorced him. Flash forward, she is now dating another basketball player, announces that she is pregnant, which is something she has wanted for years. She wants children. Does not marry him. It's Tristan Thompson. I don't even know what team he plays for at this point. But many people refer to him as Trash Tristan because of the way he's behaved. During the pregnancy the initial pregnancy that Chloe had with Tristan, it was discovered that he had been having an affair, cheating on her with multiple women. This time period passes. She decides to forgive him. They end up back together. They decide they're going to have another baby. This is probably 5 years later, maybe 3 or 4. They decide they're going to have another baby. They're having a baby via surrogate. She had problems in her initial pregnancy, and so she decided she wanted to do surrogacy. Halfway through the pregnancy, there's an announcement that Tristan is now the father of another baby to a different woman. So obviously, this is a huge embarrassment for Chloe. She had just announced that she was expecting a baby via surrogate with Tristan. It's a lot. And after the second time, you're done, right?
Yeah, you would think.
So imagine that our oldest child had one baby with a guy. He cheated on her during the pregnancy. She forgave him. We thought, okay, we even thought, yep, he's on the road to recovery. He's doing better. He's not going to do this ever again. And halfway into another pregnancy, we find out he's done this again. And he got another woman pregnant. How would you feel? Like, what would you say?
I would tell her to move on.
Okay.
That's the logical thing to do, right?
Okay. So in this episode of the Kardashians, which I think is on Hulu,
Done something.
Chris is trying to convince Chloe to take him back. Chris is telling Chloe that she may regret it if he ends up being the better man for another woman. I can't understand that.
I don't even know where to begin with that one. That's the problem. It's just ridiculous.
And perhaps if we were somebody who was the cheater in a relationship, we would understand better. But I never was.
Right.
I can't imagine telling my daughter to take a man back. Chloe went as far as to allow this man to stay in her home when his home was flooded, because she didn't want him to have a hard time having access to their children.
Right.
Did not want to be with him, was not interested in him romantically at all, but wanted to make sure he had access to their children. That is a better person than I could be. I would like to think that I could be that person, but I'm not. I'm too petty. So the fact that she was willing to do that is amazing. It's great.
She's good for the sport.
I don't understand her mother's comments. I don't get it.
I just think that's exactly what it was you said a minute ago, though, is that she just doesn't understand because she's done it. And
she thinks it should just be forgivable.
Yeah, it's like, well, I was forgiven for this, but different circumstances, different people, you know. So, and that's what it is. I mean, situations change a lot.
Well, and that's where the moral compass comes into play, because I have been in situations where in my previous marriage, my husband had cheated on me with a woman who ended up going through something later on and had almost harmed herself. She had been taking substances, and it caused her to almost harm herself. And I reached out to her in that moment, and I was like, this is not, because she had lost her dad. That's why she was having a hard time. And I said, this is not what your dad would want. And I'm the last person that you probably would be getting kudos from, because you harmed my relationship. But your life is worth something. And so in those situations, I think it's important to turn the other cheek.
Right. And like I said, everything's different.
Yeah.
Circumstances are different. People, attitudes. But
Right.
it comes down to just it's one of those where it's like the unsolvable math problem. Like you're never going to find why, because you're it's just searching for it, or no. Sometimes people just don't say anything. Like people get cheated on, and it's like, well, why? They don't have to give you an answer.
Or why did it fail? Well, we don't have to tell you why it failed. We really don't. We don't have to go into it. And sometimes there's no reason.
Yeah, right. Crap, it's up there.
I mean, in our current situation, the things that we've been going through, I don't think anybody would blame us if we failed. We're not, somehow.
I know, right?
But
like everything's stacked against us.
Nobody would blame us. They really wouldn't.
It's like going to Vegas and trying to win a blackjack.
Anyway, I don't like to gamble.
I cannot math fast enough to play blackjack.
I cannot put my money, my hard-earned money, into a machine and just hope that I get like the lucky numbers. I can't do it. It doesn't make me feel comfortable.
I don't like gambling, but I mean every now and then.
All right, guys, Bickerman of the week. You want to know what it was? Because this guy decided that breaking my keyboard, my work keyboard, mind you, was just perfectly fine, and I shouldn't care that it happened.
Yep. I stand by that.
So last week I give him a call and I'm like, did you know that you just like broke the leg off my keyboard, my work keyboard? And by the time I got a hold of him, mind you, I had been dealing with my keyboard bopping up and down for about 2 hours. So I wasn't happy. And I call him and I'm like frustrated. And he's like, oh, I didn't do it. You want to pitch in here?
No, yours going quite well. Just sitting there just blasting me. No, I was going to let you keep going.
I didn't do it. So I was mad and I kind of went on this whole rampage of, okay, you don't even care. You just disrespect my work property, yada, yada, yada. And then I hung up because I was mad, like big mad.
Like the yada, yada, yada.
Well, that's what happened.
Yada, yada, yada. It's the one and only D-O-double-G.
Because he got mad. That's why I hung up on him, because he got mad.
Oh, I got totally defensive. Oh my God, that worked. That's so cool.
Oh.
I can just select a new one whenever we're done.
So he got mad and he got all pissy and, well, I don't know, I didn't do it. And I knew he did it because I didn't touch the stupid thing. I didn't move it.
Somewhere. Go find the ball.
It's in here. It's right here.
Get it out of there.
Okay. So he gets all defensive, whatever. And I hung up on him, but then immediately texted him and told him how disrespectful he was because I was just big mad. So that's just how it was going to go. And he proceeds to not apologize, but send me the link to the leg that he could print with his 3D printer and how much it would cost.
I am resourceful.
No, you're a jerk. So I was not amused.
I was resourceful.
Resourceful?
Resourceful. Word.
That's like our third date. We went to the Charlie Daniels concert and he was trying to tell me about his college courses. And he's like, well, it was my perquisite. And I'm like, your prerequisite?
Yeah, the perquisite.
And he's like, isn't a perquisite? No, it's a prerequisite.
No, I know that. You didn't get the joke.
No, you weren't trying to
say prerequisite.
You forgot.
No.
You were trying to use the wrong word.
No.
He's trying to play it off now. It's fine.
Percocet is a good word, but this can go on for years.
Really?
Yeah. It's the cranberry farm, but for words.
The cranberry farm. We'll talk about the cranberry farm next time. That's a pretty good story.
No, that's like an ongoing. That is a big.
That is an ongoing story.
Every week, cranberry farm.
Until we finally go to one that's gonna be our life.
Yeah, forever.
Okay.
So yeah, no, it wasn't like the keyboard is. Yeah, it was whatever. But it was one of those where I was doing something because you were trying to find something, so I went over to look for it. And it wasn't like I threw the keyboard. I just did what I normally do, pick it up and set it down. And so I don't
No,
know.
he
I mean,
broke the leg off.
I did not break the leg off. There's no way.
He did.
There's no way. So I don't know what happened. If like the kids went over there doing some shit to grab the cat or whatever they
It
were
just
doing.
ended up being a whole day bickerment, guys. That's what it ended up being. And I was mad, big mad, like ready to block him on Facebook.
That'd be easy. It's easy. I don't fucking have a Facebook.
You do have a Facebook.
I have one just for religious purposes.
Oh my goodness, that's not even accurate. So the something good segment this week. Let's discuss the something
I'm
good.
loving the segues.
So we are planning this trip to Disneyland with our kids because with the kind of year we've had, we've decided we definitely need a something good, right? We need to end this year on a something good.
Yeah, definitely. It's just we need to. Yeah, we've modified the plan because it was for us to go on a couples.
Yes, we
weekend.
were going to do a couples anniversary trip to Disneyland because me and Hawk have decided recently that Disney is just our happy place, which is so cliche but wonderful at the same time.
I think that's what they designed it for.
Yeah, it's been completely what we have needed. So, we decided that this trip needed to be all of us because our whole family has really been in it this year. And so we are doing this family trip the week after Thanksgiving as an early Christmas present to all of us. And so we decided we wanted to do something nice for the cast, the crew that work for Disney and make it such a special, magical place. And so we're making bracelets, basically letting them know that they are the true magic of the entire place. And so I sat there with my girls this weekend and we made all these different patterns and themes for each character and each cast member. And it was so special, and it's something I will remember, and I hope they do too, because this has been such a different year for us and a different year for me. So getting to experience that with them has been really wonderful. But my biggest takeaway and my biggest something good from this whole thing is me and my oldest daughter were shopping for crafts. And we were talking about all these different TikTok crafts that they have that are like Dollar Tree crafts.
I'm pretty sure that was what it was called.
Yeah, it is. But
Yeah.
here's what happened. This is what it was. It was something good. So, I'm sorry, I'm crying. So my oldest daughter, we were shopping and we were talking about these different crafts, and some of the crafts involve like everyday items like mops. And there was a craft to take a Dollar Tree mop and convert it to a Christmas gnome. And I'm like, oh, this is such a cute craft. And she's like, I don't like that. And I'm like, why don't you like it? And she said, because the people that shop at Dollar Tree for a mop can't afford a mop at Walmart. And she's like, and so we're taking away from them if they can't afford a mop at Walmart. And it just made my heart so happy in that moment. It was such a stupid little thing, and it was such a dumb thing for me to focus on. But I just knew in that moment that we are raising really good human beings, because she was worried about other people and whether they could afford a mop.
Yeah, good for you. You didn't tell me that earlier.
I know, I forgot about it. And, and it kind of reminds me, do you remember that time she had came home and we hadn't seen her in a couple days because she was visiting with her mom, her other parent. And she comes home and she said, last week I got punched in the face by another kid. And we said, what? And we said, we didn't know about this. Does your mom know about it? And she said, no. And we said, okay. And so I immediately reached out to the principal. The principal responded and he said, I'm so sorry. I disciplined the other student, but I didn't reach out to you and let you know what happened. And so I said, it's very concerning that we didn't know. And so then I went back to our oldest and I said, okay, well, the other student did get disciplined, whatever. And she looked at me and with the biggest, most genuine eyes said, well, I just want to know that he's okay because that's not like him. Like she was so concerned about him and why he would have acted that way and whether or not he was okay.
Right.
So those are the moments where I know that we're really doing a good job in raising good human beings because that's what she's worried about.
Yeah.
And it makes me cry.
What?
And it makes me cry.
Yeah, apparently. But yeah, that's you haven't heard most of that.
Well, and she's, like I said, she's always had a way of melting me. That kid, the first time I met her, she wormed her way into my heart, and that was just it.
Yep, she does that.
That's the only reason I'm still with you. She's pretty special. So thanks for joining us today, guys. We will be back again next week, and we hope to have you like, subscribe, and join us again.
Bye.
Bye.
Aw, Potato, why you gotta be so cute?